So I've recently been watching Doctor Who because it's the quarantine and I haven't had anything better to do. And if anyone's wondering, my overall impression of the 12th season is I feel like this kind of undoes 50th anniversary special, which is like, okay, I guess. And I mean, it very much seems like the writers of this show liked the Doctor better as the last of the Time Lords, and that they're trying to recreate that basically. And on that note, I don't particularly care for this route they're taking that the Doctor is special amongst Time Lords. They're already a time traveling space alien. Was this all just for show then? Whatever. This really isn't a review of the season, though. I just want to talk about a particular episode, and really just a particular moment in the episode. And that is the episode Praxis, which I believe is episode 6 in season 12. Or series, because they're British and they have to be special. And this is kind of a message episode, which has the same problems with every message episode. If you agree with it, then it's like preaching to the choir, and that's boring. If you disagree with it, it's like you're being preached at, and that's boring. But the stuff has been handled well in the past. I mean, the pilot episode for the new Doctor Who involved plastic in some sense, but that was more about its common social impact and the way that it changed from the old Who, Doctor Who, where it was this new thing that is super weird, to this thing that is now so common that it's around us, and this is now taking it to, I guess it's gonna kill us all? Whatever. Now, my issue with this boils down to several points in the episode. There are certain moments which are meant to be sort of emotionally climactic that fall flat. Why? Because I'm aware that they're aware of criticism. Let me explain. Among a lot of Doctor Who fans, Council of Geeks over here in particular, there's been a constant complaint about the trope, bury your gays, which just refers to the fact that a lot of time gay people die in media to make for an emotional climax. Okay, I mean, I don't want to get too much into this, but I never really found the trope all that convincing. It seems to be more indicative of the fact that you have a Y chromosome than you like dudes, but whatever.
Are you really playing the gay card right now? God's queen.
The simple fact is, nobody gives a shit about men's well-being. What do you think you're any different? But even if I considered this the quintessential trope around homosexuals in TV and movies, I would have a problem with how this episode handled it, because they put these two gay characters, in peril twice. And because I'm aware that the writers are aware of this trope, I know that nothing bad is going to happen to either one of these things. This cure will work. They will save this guy at the last moment. And the weird thing is, I didn't feel any tension in either one of these moments, but I've read the book Oathbringer probably 4 times, and I feel tension at the climax of that book every time. So maybe it's just how this was executed. I don't know. This is what I noticed, and I can only give my opinion. I feel like the criticism of bury your gays has kind of caused the writers of Doctor Who to kind of walk on eggshells around this. This somewhat limits the stories you're able to tell with these characters, making things, slightly worse. It's a little bit like how in Star Trek Discovery I was told that this show was super great because of the progressive way in which it treats the characters and yada 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 yada. Dude, the best thing about this show? Straight white dude. The next best thing about this show? Straight white dude. The reason people like those guys is, they were allowed to be interesting. Ultimately, though, this is a minor pendulum swing, and it's not the biggest deal in the world. It's just something that I particularly noticed. I don't know. This is just my personal opinion on this sort of thing. Maybe someone else watched this and was on the edge of their seat, but I was just like, I know nothing bad is going to happen.
TV audiences don't want anything original. They want to see the same thing they've seen 1,000 times before.